plus the hosting rules. So in the Supreme Court wisdom, the Supreme Court, all of it was reviewing the Supreme Court ruling.
Thank you, Councillor.
Let the politics out of the whole process and proceed.
Proceed with what now? They think people say both political and...
The ruling is clear.
All right, Chief. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.
You talk about Senator Chair. I beg you, please. You talk about Senator Chair. For the initial stage of this matter, Senator Chair, he had a start. So what you're trying to say? He started with that change.
Okay. But Ali is being clear. Hello.
Hello, and knowledge. Clarence, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, welcome back, Chief.
Thank you.
My name is Daniel Philly, and I call you from the grounds of the FCA, where you can only overflow.
Okay, Daniel, let's hear you.
Well, Clarence, this whole rattle about this lawmakers, you know, for me, for my take, it's just glaring. You know, they quote rules first. From the initial...
You said the code rule?
They quote rules first that these people should go back and settle their matter, right? And they said status quo ante, right? It simply means don't go back. Even the time the problem has not started, y'all go back and see where y'all were looking. So the time the problem has not started. But then, you know, surprisingly, the minister go back with 20 days. Later again, they go back and say, it should be, y'all go by and say that. Then it's down after y'all go by and say that. But then the minister complaining, they say, you know, 20.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go back to this other line. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to all my mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers. Welcome back, and thank you for excellent reportage from Accra.
Thank you, Dr. Brooklyn. Thank you so much.
I'm not calling, yes, I'm a lawyer, but I'm not calling in my capacity as a lawyer. I'm calling to give information in my capacity as a religious cleric. I listened to my esteemed former superintendent, the Honorable Janje Bakbe, speaking this morning, and repeatedly he said the people who spoke, who we heard making a lot of statements before, are not speaking now. The Council of Churches and the Interreligious Council. I called to give a point of clarity. In fact, this morning, the Secretary General of the Liberia Council of Churches was on the radio. He spoke to this matter. He talked about a meeting, an interventory meeting held by the Liberia Council of Churches at the Provident Baptist Church.
It just slipped out of my mind. I think at some point they intervened.
Present, yes. So Reverend Christopher Toe has spoken, and the council remains engaged with this matter. I just want to say,
maybe you were talking about publicly releasing a statement to say this is wrong, this is not wrong.
They have.
Okay.
And the fact that Christopher Toe was on the air, that is a public release. I just want to say that, you know, because when these groups are striving to resolve national issues, I think we need to remember that. That's all.
Okay, Dr. Brooklyn, thank you so much. Let's hear from the other caller. Hello. Good morning. Hello there. Oh, I got to let you go. Do we have another caller? Yes, we do. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Clarence, this is also an accordance from Corway Bill.
Let's hear it.
It's Corway, New Georgia. Clarence, you guys are doing very well when it comes to the issue. Mostly when it comes to the good of God, you guys speak on it so many times. And I think under the leadership of the Excellency Mr. Bwaka, I think there's a serious dark cloud on this country.
Okay.
Because what we see here is that this does not open road for any international partner to come to the country. How can you have a country where you have two speakers running the country, then the president is not doing nothing? If you can remember.
But the president not come out clear how the executive got a position now.
Yeah, but if you can remember during the time of the speaker election, the president called all the United Parties in, those that were representing United Party at the lower hall, for them to vote in for Richard Poole. Then they could have testified to the point where the president the president is not intervening, stopping. Where are we going with this country? You guys are doing very well. I will tell you guys in the media, you guys are doing very well, but I think the government is not listening to the people, and I think I'm seeing something wrong happening to the country if we're not careful on our leadership.
Okay.
And I think, like they said, the religious council is going to be open, is going to have an open press conference and tell all their rule. I just let you know Mr. Problem saying that they spoke. Well, why did they spoke? Why did they tell the country? They don't hear anything what they say.
Okay, Chief. Thank you. Let's go back right here on this other line. Hello? I'm your rest. I'm your rest. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy your trip. Thank you for all that you do for Liberia. My name is Mama Sikaba. I will begin my conversation by agreeing with you that we need to hear from the two senators. Because like Dr. Martin Luther King said, and I quote, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. I'm not trying to preach regional politics, even if that is what I'm trying to preach, is accepted in our African politics. Because whatever affects one county affects everyone that comes from that county, directly or indirectly. Nobody is saying that they should say they are for or against, but they should take a side. If they are against, let them make it clear that we are against because of this, but they can't be silent and things are happening like this. Another thing is, in as much as there may seem to be ambiguity in the ruling, but there is a clear definition in the conclusion of the judgment that says any setting that is not in conformity with Article 33 and 49 is termed as ultra-virus. And ultra-virus, like when the lawyers are deciding to prioritize politics over their profession, we that are not lawyers, we will define it. Because ultra-virus clearly means illegal. And it is clear. So Article 49 clearly tells us who is the presiding. And the minority, they were talking about the quorum. That quorum cannot be presided over by someone who is not the presiding. The deputy speaker cannot be a presiding officer in the presence of the speaker. So nobody should have beyond ambiguity. The first thing you ask Mr. Babe, if you were the president, what would you have done when your justice minister advised you? For me, if I were the president, I would tell my justice minister to file a bill of information to the Supreme Court so as to get a clear understanding. Because if you look at the entire process, we all know how it went. People are afraid to speak out because it is the government. But let's understand that the same Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Now, Mamesi, what do you say to all Liberians who are also holding your CDC responsible? They are saying your party was not influential enough to ensure all of your lawmakers who went to the majority black return home. So they think it was a plot from within.
I respect their opinion. They could be right to some extent, but what we all need to understand is that a partisan, an ordinary partisan, and a partisan that has been elected by a group of people can be dealt with differently. All we can do is either expel them, suspend them, or distance ourselves from them, which we've been doing. We cannot force them because they are over there. Okay. Another thing is, in order to blame the CDC, why can't you blame the Unity Party too? Why can't you blame the president who has been working with the illegal majority?
No, a lot of people say they're holding you up because most of the time you people will say party mandate. Once the party mandate,
the party has come out on numerous occasions to distance itself from this act. The party has recognized on the Bokofa.
No. What I'm saying in the context, what I'm saying is most of the time when the CDC talks about the party mandate, your lawmakers will say, I can't do this because of the party mandate. The party say we should do it like this. We are going to follow the party mandate. How can they wait now?
Okay,
let me tell her that they won't talking. How can they follow the party mandate? What went wrong?
So like I said to you, you're talking about two different partisans.
Okay.
You remember the Tyler situation when the party had issue with the lawmakers that took us out. The party was clear that we did not want the removal of Tyler. And there were some partisans that took us out and we took decision. What we can do is to take decision against them, and that's what we've done. Okay. But what I'm saying to you is, what happens to the president, the executive that executes the law, that is bypassing the law? Will you blame the executive that has the authority to solve this problem, or you will blame a political political party that has clearly stated inside in the matter.
Okay, Ma'am Mercy. Thank you. Let's hear from Liberians. Coming up very shortly. I will leave the calls and then I will open different calling line for the whole issue of the our health work. I mean, we'll talk about our health work. Won't see some of you there. All the men are deeply inside there. They say get beam or they say they can walk in the morning. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
This is Season London.
Okay, let's hear you.
Clarence, you know, sometimes when you're listening to the program and some people are calling, sometimes I'm wondering what is really going on, because the way we do our judgments, the way we decide some public issues can be concerning.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to my sister Mama say now, the posture that they have taken. This is the very same thing. A similar thing that happened during we attended with the former Associate Justice, Kabina Janet. He was removed from that place. We used same politics and removed Kabina Janet. Today, another one has happened in a political theater, that is the Capitol building or the House of Legislature. That has happened there. And they have suddenly forgotten that similar thing happened in Green Assembly. They didn't speak out as they are speaking out now. Now they are speaking out. Let us find a way to improve our society. Instead of finding righteousness in one party, if we want to find righteousness in one party, let's do it generally.
Okay, my
brother. That's my opinion this morning.
Thank you. Righteousness should be general. Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
Thank you. Simple Governor is money. I ain't buying the money.
Simple, let's hear you.
Mr. Judge, let me ask, right? Grand Coup they say too. What they vote for representative, that vote for speaker. But let me tell the CDC people this. CDC, the people that voted for Funadi, they say they don't want the man. So what is the problem? They voted they don't want you. They vote for representative, they don't vote for speaker, and that speaker said that people giving to you. Your friend look at you, they mean, yeah. If they tell you, no problem, you ask him Mama she struggle to answer the question. What the party people want? That's it, that you say the man.
That's it, said it, man. You get any proof for that one?
Okay, so talk about that. They get CDC lawmaker to active for nothing black. So what they say, well, let me tell you the powerless CDC, they talk about taking the peace. You're not capable of doing that thing. I can't agree with that. What are you capable of doing?
Okay, so we will not reach our station. Hello?
Hello, guys.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is Yika Gabriel.
Okay.
Let me just share quickly because I don't have much time. But let me assist the brother who just left me now. Yes, the same people who elected you may decide later on not to continue to retain you. But again, as before, there was a process to elect you, and there's a process to remove you. And once the process to elect you, let's go back, is not free, fair, and transparent, as well as consistent with law, you will be declared unlawful. Similarly, if the process to remove you, after you've changed your mind, the process after they've changed your mind, if the process to remove you is also punctuated with cookery and chicanery, they can be declared unlawful. Let me quickly go to my sister, my parents, intellectual racist, I normally call. And she made a point clearly. But you answer the question regarding
the party mandate,
the party's mandate, and so forth. The party's mandate, clearly the party's mandate. A party renegade could decide to do his own thing. And like you said, only punitive measure. But let me stress this point quickly, 3359. You know, the Supreme Court, I concur partly with those who argue that this particular ruling is strange and weird. The Supreme Court, consistent with Article 66, Chapter 7 of our Constitution, is the final arbiter, Clarence, the final arbiter. What that means is that when it comes to a confusion or an ambiguity of the
law, during the implementation of the law, the Supreme Court is the only branch of government constitutionally empowered to interpret the law.
Do you think the court's opinion is ambiguous too? Was ambiguous?
Yeah, to some extent, I would say to some extent, but it shouldn't be even to some extent. It should be clear. All other opinions that I have seen as a student of law for the Supreme Court have been crystal clear. In fact, they will itemize the issues.
And those opinions are about the legislature, the ones you're talking about.
But go to the ethics no case, for instance.
Okay.
Just check it and see. It was very clear. But before you go.
No. How clear was it? What clarity did the court make in the ethics?
The Supreme Court on the ethics no case, the Supreme Court was quite clear and said Edwin Snow's colleagues proceeded in an ultra-virus manner, to use a very legal terminology was using. In other words, they were wrong. And that's the reason why you will hear everybody say Edwin Snow won the case in court. So when Edwin Snow returned, he decided for expediency, which is voluntary, which is cannot be imposed upon anybody. So he resigned as speaker. He was never removed.
I'm not sure you've been clear with the Edwin Snow thing. What the court said? They say the court said his colleagues proceeded in an ultra-viral manner.
Some are wrong. In other words, we just use it ultra-viral because they use it now. Okay. But the court was very clear.
Okay, we're gonna let you go.
But you give me 1 second, please.
You let it 1 second, Benny, or give her.
Because that's what I wanted to end up on.
Yeah, please end.
Discussing absence and Clarence. Let's talk about absence a little bit. Because the deputy speaker, consistent with our constitution, can only preside when the speaker is absent. Now they're defining absence in a different way. Now you can't say the speaker is present in the officially recognized chambers of the legislature or the House of Representatives. In this case, he's presiding over a minority consistent with Article 33. He's adjoining from day to day, compelling the absentee members to return. He says he's absent. What kind of definition is that?
Okay, thank you.
Well, this is the legislative officially prescribed as the body absent from there.
Thank you, Jika. Let me take Councillor Luther, your fee, then we will do something else. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, Council.
Thank you very much. I'm very much constrained to call this morning. Look, the ruling of the Supreme Court is all as big words and crystal clear. You see, law is not like literature that is just direct. You got to look at the spirit and intent of the framer of the Constitution and the language of the interpreters of the law, meaning the Supreme Court in this instance. But before I go forward, let me set the premise. The Supreme Court has 2 kinds of jurisdiction. 2 kinds of jurisdiction. One, appellate jurisdiction and original jurisdiction. In appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court cannot take evidence because they will be reviewing the record of the lower court. But in its original jurisdiction, the Supreme Court can take evidence. Maybe many people didn't follow the argument. But let me summarize because of time. In conclusion, the Supreme Court says, wherefore in view of the foregoing, any sittings not in conformity with Article 49 and 33 is ultra-viral, meaning illegal. But then let's look at the sitting. There were sittings that were held before the deputy speaker was called to join the majority bloc. Those are the sittings that the Supreme Court was referring to because the Supreme Court already defined that where the speaker is not present, the deputy speaker can preside in line with the Constitution. Let's look at absence. To be absent does not mean that you have to be out of the country. You could be in the very building, but you are not in the meeting, you are absent. So where the speaker was not present and the deputy speaker was present in the meeting, that meeting was legitimate. So when the Supreme Court said any meeting not in conformity with 49 and 33 is ultra-viral, that means those meetings that were held prior to the deputy speaker joining the majority bloc. But you will observe that the major actions leading to a removal of the speaker was presided over by the deputy speaker who had the constitutional responsibility of presiding over session.
Now, Councillor, but Councillor, others are arguing that I mean, how could the deputy speaker preside over a section when, in their opinion and their definition of absence, meaning the speaker was not out of the country, but he was in their original chambers, but the majority was on the other side. So their interpretation is that the speaker was not absent, and so the deputy speaker should not have presided.
That is the personal definition. That's not what the law says. The definition of absence means you are not present where the action is being taken place. So
you say in the ruling that ultra virus the Supreme Court talks about is at the time when Thomas Fowler had not joined the majority, all the sittings they had. Okay.
Exactly. Because when the speaker is not present, the deputy speaker can preside constitutionally.
But people say the ruling is ambiguous because the court not clear.
Because they're not putting it on the reasoning care. They are looking at it from a partisan point of view. I am giving you a broad reasoning based on a legal interpretation. I'm not a partisan. I'm giving and take your time.
Okay, Councillor, why if the Supreme Court consider, let's assume without admitting that what you're saying is correct. Why if the Supreme Court had said that, look, all the sittings that were held when the deputy speaker Thomas Fowler had not joined the majority were ultra virus. All of the sittings that were held by the majority when Thomas Fowler came there were constitutional because he's the co-presider. In the absence of the speaker, he should have presided. I think these are the kind of things that people wanted the Supreme Court to do.
No, the thing is, there is no specific way to speak English. I could use any terminology I'm comfortable with. But lawyers are trained to understand these legal languages in a precise way.
But how can you lawyers are even divided? You are trained, but you say you are even divided more on the Supreme Court's opinion. So the ordinary people
some people are interpreting from a partisan point of view.
Even lawyers.
Let's look at the actual reasoning.
Okay.
Let's look at the actual reasoning. Okay, let's take it from another perspective. Majority of those things when I think COFA requested for in the petition were not dealt with by the Supreme Court, which means they didn't even take it into account because they did not require any legal interpretation because they were all wrong. That's what I mean. For example, you say the people did not give me due process. The Supreme Court did not even take on due process because they feel that had no magnitude. And follow the entire petition and the ruling. And the Supreme Court, the only aspect of the petition that they took into consideration was the aspect that had to do with safety.
Okay. All right. Let's let you go. Two lawyers are coming now. Councillor Luther Yofi, thank you ever so much. Councillor Luther Yofi, thank you so much. So I'm not taking any call, man. I beg you. I'm not taking any more call. We are about to talk about OK Health War. Let's leave it. Let rest our body small now. I beg you. Let rest our body small. Let's talk about our health walk a little bit. I want to hear from some of you as to whether you will participate in the health walk on Saturday morning. Let's talk a little bit about health walk. 9 o'clock when the two lawyers come, you will have a fair appreciation of their different perspectives. Councillor Yofi said, look, that ultra virus, it mean everything they were doing was not correct. He's saying that he interpretation. I'm saying he interpretation because different lawyers interpret it differently. We coming right back.
You're so fire. Take me higher. Caught up in this feeling.
By popular request, your number one people-centered radio station, OKFM 99.5. once again presents the OK Health Walk under the theme Promoting a Healthy Lifestyle for a Healthy Nation. On December 14th at 6 a.m. prompt, we will be walking from Congo Town opposite the SOS Clinic through the principal streets of Cinco to the Antoinette Tubman Stadium, where the health walk will be climaxed with free health screening and refreshments. To all fans, ardent listeners of OKFM, social and fitness clubs, our fellow media colleagues, one and all, come join us to climax the year with a healthy lifestyle while we create the environment for great networking opportunities for your various businesses. The energy is going to be electrifying with live brass band music to keep us alive and energized. To be a sponsor of this OKFM landmark event, reach out to the business office where a special media package awaits you. Mark your calendars. On December 14th, OKFM shuts the city down. Health is wealth, so join us in promoting that healthy lifestyle. And with OK, everything is okay. See you on December 14th.
Tonight, you're my private heaven. You're so fire. Take me higher. Caught up in this feeling.
By popular request, your number one people-centered radio station, OKFM 99.5, once again presents the OK Health Walk under the theme Promoting a Healthy Lifestyle for a Healthy Nation. On December 14th at 6 a.m. prompt, we will be walking from Congo Town opposite the SOS Clinic through the principal streets of Cinco to the Antoinette Tubman Stadium, where the health walk will be climaxed with free health screening and refreshments. To all fans, ardent listeners of OKFM, social and fitness clubs, our fellow media colleagues, one and all, come join us to climax the year with a healthy lifestyle while we create the environment for great networking opportunities for your various businesses. The energy is going to be electrifying with live brass band music to keep us alive and energized. To be a sponsor of this OKFM landmark event, reach out to the business office where a special media package awaits you. Mark your calendars. On December 14th, OKFM shuts the city down. Health is wealth, so join us in promoting that healthy lifestyle. And with OK, everything is okay.
Everything is okay. Absolutely, everything is okay. We're okay, FM. Everything is okay. That's why we are inviting all of you to join us on Saturday, 6 a.m. from SOS for a walk up to the Antoinette Tubman Stadium. A friend of mine just sent me a text message and said, Clarence, I'm coming for a huge crowd. That's why we want to see all of you, friends of OKFM, those of you who appreciate the work we do, turn out. All we say, turn out, let's march. Come in your exercise wear, wear your nice sneakers, your short trousers, whatever you can wear, and join us. Let's walk. Let's talk about it. Call us now on 0777700. Look, there are some people I will just call and ask them whether they will come to join us in the walk. We want to walk. Health is wealth. Good morning. Are you coming?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
My name is Wilbert Boy, and I'm somewhere on the airplane route of town.
Okay, welfare.
So I was not being part of the walk, except that they say it's too short.
Look at the man, no excuse.
Clarence, let me submit that I may not be large inside, but the presence of Milo does not suggest that iron has finished.
My man, come to the wall. The distance short, no problem. Come join us. Leave it. The people who can walk will...
You people gotta consider carrying it back to real and we come to town.
Alright, just come when we conference there, we can take a decision. Good morning. Good morning. The OK Health Walk.
Yes,
Short people that can walk to. Yeah, go ahead.
Daniel, my name is Daniel Philly. I call you from the grounds of the NCA. Clarence, the distance you're talking about is short. It's
Look
short.
okay, y'all come. Send the distance short, y'all come.
Yeah, alright. I'm coming there with my other group.
Okay, please come. Yeah, short didn't can walk. Hello?
You talking about short people? Like seriously?
No. But man, you're not gonna be my flower. I can call you all anytime. Don't. Well,
cut me up. I'm taller than you. You want to talk about listen?
I will not take my picking. Wait, my picking. I will not take disrespect. Don't be talking people that's small, but you say who will be there?
Would Dioda be there?
Dioda will be there. Olive will be there. Come and see.
Olive will be there.
Olive will be there. Blessing will be there. Massa will be there. Everybody here will be there.
I got two names. You can't wait.
Dioda will be there. Olive will be there. Okay, I say, Blessing, please bring Olive inside. Olive, please come and tell the boss that you will be there. Go ahead. Or you please bring Olive. You tell us the manager says she must come. Olive, you are
noticed. You know, Clarence. Clarence, I set record in this country.
Look at Joe. Who your witness?
I tell you, those that were around doing the war, you know, they were in the war from fire to all the way to my country.
My man, I record all of us more than 8.
So we're about to set a new record. But unfortunately, the distance is so short. I will be there to grace the occasion. The fact that all the Stevenson will be there, my brother Abu Kamara and myself going to be there in full swing.
Okay, thank you. The distance short. You think that prayer was working for you? So your man and body can know that security man. I know the bucket at the time where his stomach getting big. Hello. Oh,
good morning.
Oh,
good morning.
Oh, Uncle, sorry.
No problem. No problem. It let you when you went Ghana, you forget the traditional.
No, Uncle, I saw it. I know I saw the new
No, you are welcome. You are back in Liberia. Yeah, you got uncle and you got nephew. And when uncle talk, nephew don't talk.
Yeah, Uncle.
So welcome back. But again, the first phone call on the radio already said the distance is short. So it's a popular demand you push you. Because myself believe the distance is short.
Yeah, when you can't out there will vote.
No, I agree. We gotta agree on it. You get full on it.
No, when we'll vote, but other people say the distance long. No, they're ready for you. They're ready for you. And I agree. Why I say, let all of us gather, then we'll take the vote. We'll do hand count. My man, you don't want me doing that legislature? Hey, yeah, no one to hand count. Everybody put it on one count you, then we'll take it.
Okay, so because I know now that you want to disagree with her, but anyway, let me say it too, the distance is short. I was already thinking I was walking from Broad Street to SKD, but look, Eric just said something that I was going to say. Guys, 1992, I walked from Firestone to Banga.
My man, the energy, how many girls, Uncle?
Wait, let me tell you how I walk. Let me tell you the distance I go. I ain't just walk from Firestone and take a straight road and go Banga. I passed two Grand Bazaar, number 2, number 3. Boko, Disonta, Potota in Ponkante, before I bust onto Kokoya Road and get in Banga and back to Monrovia. So I am expert when it comes to walking.
Uncle, the last time when your stomach was hanky, you.
I exercise regularly. I'm a security man, you know, I'm fit.
Uncle, when you come with see when woman says she find in the net, they can pray. Alright, when you come, we'll vote when you come, Uncle. Hello, man. Only thing I'm not boy, he know boy, he can speak good English, but I really know that he can essence out. Hello. Get right, you not really all the war for bad stuff.
No, ask Eric Pye.
You gotta know no wasting it.
We default, no, listen, because he just called, and we default consistently on the political front, but I think on other fronts, we can be fair with each other. He knows me very well. In fact, the reason why President we are new because I played football with him, with the likes of Diva. So how can you say I cannot run when I play for? I was MVP in the National League under the GF sponsor. On Tusafi for 2 years I was MVP.
Well, yeah, 1980 something was no wasting around. Keep right league all year, man.
I used to carry the captain then for the Scorpions. I did not go reach while I was still student council leader and doing my stuff. I doing at the end of the year. So you got to blend these things. I'm both athletic and academic. I don't want to talk about the relations actually, but I'm concerned first about the distance. Very short. Because, no.
My man, from SOS to ATS.
Some of us will be jogging while you guys are walking. Trust me, because it's a mark of laziness to walk short. So we'll be jogging.
You say what? It's a mark of laziness.
Yeah, for you to walk a short distance, so we'll be jogging when you guys are walking.
No problem.
But let me leave you and ask you a question. Why is it that everyone's going to say only about the ladies?
Yeah, that's
why. Specific issue?
That's why I wanted to ask Eric.
You want to call him back?
Yeah, I will call him back. And when I call him, I will say, you can say, oh, that's not me. I will say, different say.
Yeah, all right.
All right, thank you. I'm calling Eric right back. Yeah, because he just asking. Liberia under security generally on the line. Bobby Bleer, Kokolo, Alice. Bobby, let's hear you.
People who are not athletes. I don't know why you have to give him a long time to talk. Then he goes to the Capitol.
Bobby, you athlete, you boss. I know that you athlete.
Well, sorry that you don't know. The one where OKFN started to work from City Hall, the club that was Survival Fitness Club. We are your
yeah. Bobby is your fitness club. Yeah.
So you see that.
Yeah.
Even when we were in Banga, Bon County, I used to play for Radio Banga.
Yeah, but I used to see you playing
yes,
playing.
as a red, women cabbage on the late. We used to play
Hey, Bobby, man, you play for 10 minutes, you can't, you drink some more beer, you go back playing.
No, I never used to drink beer. Beer is not part of me.
Your power from God, man.
Yes, right. I read about it. When the Survival Fitness Club, your partner club, we are in readiness for this work. I'm the public relation officer for the club. We have received our 20 pieces of t-shirts through our CEO, Martin Stewart. So we are in readiness for the work. Those are saying that the distance is long, distance is short. Do you know that your health is important?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is important. What OKFM is doing is one of the best things. You don't have to sit in your house every time. You know what I mean? So you imagine that some of those that called in this morning, they don't even have to take long to sweep, that exercise. They don't wash clothes. They don't wash dishes, that exercise. They don't know all of those things.
Okay.
At the age of 58 years, 59 years, or even somebody even 40 years, they start falling down.
All right.
You've got a stroke.
Hey, don't talk in your mouth.
So this exercise, I'm calling on all elected clubs under the sound of my voice at the SKE. Let us join our partner OKFM to be out for this work.
Very good.
We are ready. Yes, search for common. Survival Fitness Club. We are in readiness for the work.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. We look forward to seeing all of you. Eric Baye, the question, you already heard the question. Please answer the question. Given you can listen. What are you laughing for? The man said, why are you so interested in only asking for females?
I'm laughing because of a series of reasons. You know, the OKF work is bringing those of us that can't see one another, bringing us together.
The man said, you always disagree with you, but on the one, you and him together.
Yeah, no, I was saying that the security man when they put a reference me, you see what OKF is doing, trying to unite us. It's good.
Yeah.
So what's the question?
You're not dodging the question. Given you can say, why you couldn't ask for Olive and Judah?
Well, listen, the thing about Eric Pine is that Eric is a human magnet. People respect me, I respect people in return. And specifically, Judah, I want to work with Judah because, Clarence, you know the reason why I want to work with Judah. You know.
I know everything. Don't put me in your jeans, man.
I saw Iran come out and said, now how you looking?
My man, don't put me in your jeans. I hear you.
Eat your olives. And you know, all with Judah, and those are my guys. So we'll be there, we'll be working, we'll get our small bottle. I mean, they have what? It will not be easy.
Bye, man. My man, see, Kaba Umpa again. Always see your exercises. That one part, that one part, I'm a witness. Oh no, that one part. And I really admire you for that, you know? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So how much 100 women you drinking, all men you drinking, all your colleagues that can exercise what you want? See plenty of people.
Honestly, I did not talk with my team because we train every Sunday, and last Sunday I didn't go to the session. So I'll place call to some of them to encourage them to be part of the work, and I'll get my t-shirt today by God's grace. Also, the distance is not bad, and I believe that those who are saying the distance is short are people who are going to wait for our ATS.
Listen, man, can tell it out. Listen, man.
Because I have been to this thing for over 6 years, and I even took part in the marathon. I know why it is to walk from over there, and the walking is not just any kind of walking.
For the man to say, we'll reduce the distance, they acting smart.
Exactly. For some of us, we're going to be jogging at the same time walking, but the distance is long, it's good, it's healthy, and this is not just about health, it's also about bringing us together. People from different backgrounds coming together to work with OKFM. I think it's good, and I will offer my service to train the women if we get to the football field soon. I'm one of the trainers at the Vaton session, so I will offer my service to train the women.
That energy that in you there.
All right,
Olive and Judah, all the women from OKFM, they will go to your training. I will make sure they go there.
And we're doing 20 reps for each session, 20 reps, just 20.
But take down with them now. When
I say 20 reps,
let's start 10 years. My man, you can't do the thing around. No, let me go see it.
Let me tell you, Okay, this is the thing for exercise. No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
So if you wanna gain something from
because
exercise,
they all producer are looking at blessing him. When you deal with all of that, what we I think the show come home.
no, my point, you gotta leave from your comfort zone. And what exercise is about, when you feel it, then you get pain. We're not going to play down there, we're going for exercise. And what they think
No, but me and Julius Kumpa, y'all can treat all anyway. We'll be there. I beg you.
I just told you, I trust you. I know you can make it too much, but I can try.
We can try Kumpa. Look at all of Kumpa Pastor. But my message, see who calling me Kumpa Pastor with a lazy ball and tree.
No, Kumpa can make it.
You can make it, huh? All right, let me talk to him more. Let me talk to Kumpa. They say minister calling me. Kumpa Pastor. The OK Health Walk is on Saturday, my friends. My message, I say, all of you're talking, oh no, they ball by a regular football player. You can train. They tell it to your ball get energy. They ball can train. Oh yeah, the ball gave me trophy. Wow, we are talking about.
Yes, like I indicated to Judicial yesterday, the entire team, the entire FOT, as the Clarence team, more than 200 persons, we have already agreed.
How the coin say, UNICEF 01,
Yeah, Central in fact is going to be at the head of the team to grace the occasion. In fact, he just called me to allow me to participate on the video. So the rest assured the entire team, the assistant minister, Kupo, Fa, and Daniel Sandler, the rest of the team.
my man, I go is supposed to stay in my arm, man. Yeah, I go. What you say?
If any international coach see that go, then Real Madrid will come to play.
They will want to drop your age and encourage you to go play. That goal,
exactly. It's the best goal I've ever scored. In fact, Judicial saw the goal, he freeze or he froze. Judicial froze, he couldn't say anything again. After the game, if I pull that,
I love for them man money. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning on the other line. Are you there? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, the funny thing about this was it's not being so bad. The funny thing is that no Bravo. He making me down. They make good reference of one thing.
Yeah.
Talking about after 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago when he was picking set. At that time he used to do plenty of funny things now.
Really working. So now really working. That water working talking about money they working into water. You know, the guys are tactically escaping.
Yes, exactly.
Don't be surprised to be a capital Baba waiting. And you think it's Tony,
the thing about that Saturday, the war will be both on radio and TV. So we will be Julius and I and Troko and Joseph Dan and the rest of some of the folks will be working at the same time providing commentary. So when you lie, you can't. So as soon as we say, oh, there he stands. He didn't start the war with us, but we see him standing right around the police station. This is cheating. My man will say, hey.
The best thing all of us can do is let's go and start the war. And then when we read to the 8 years, then we know whether you're 1990 or 1989, and we can come up with a body data.
Okay. All right, my brother. Hello?
Clarence.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Wadsworth, and I call from Monrovia.
I found my man, you know that football player, but I don't know what you get energy. Your physical look tells anybody that you're supposed to be a good footballer, but I don't really know. Yeah.
No, I actually used to play for 11 Dangerous Dwarf.
Look at the man on the team. The 11 Dangerous Dwarf.
And so we called to inform the public that we would be there. I think we consider the distance, even though it's short, but we consider the distance and we'll be there.
Okay, gentlemen. Let me take my final call. All our deputy minister, when he sees that you know straight, he get too much energy, boy. He must say you do that. Opa, please call your name.
No, just for the description, I will not call my name.
My man, Opa, call your name. I will call your name, Obi.
I'd like to inform you that...
Okay, this is Jalawa Tumpo. Yeah, Opa, go ahead.
I'd like to inform you that 1991, I war from...
Look at that.
No, listen to me. 1991, I war from Greenville through River G, through Maryland to Taboo. So So I'd like to inform you that I've been a long distance walk.
All right, thank you.
You can't contact with me.
Thank you, former deputy minister. So let me tell you, all our current deputy minister, nobody come and tell me how to walk from Bonota to Tolota, la walk. And nobody come and lie. You never walk from Bonota before.
Clarence, good morning. And let me say good morning to the Liberian people.
Minister, good morning.
Yeah, thank you for the program and thanks for the job you do for Liberia.
You get any history of walking, even during your student leader day, according to you did not walk. So let me put you on record.
My man, I was not only a student leader and three-pointer according to, I was on the starting team of the continental soccer team.
Look at trouble. Look at, my man, I can't call Tomo to Azo.
Call Mr. Coleman and he will tell you that. So I will be part of that war. I'm coming with my team from EAW. If I will start working from EAW Junction, they will join you at Matani and then we'll continue.
Talking too easy, but anyway, it's okay. We expect all of you. My friends, we're expecting our guests. Once the two lawyers come in, we'll take them. It's 9 o'clock. I expect that they will be here on time because the people can go to court on time. The two lawyers have not come yet. Councillor Lawrence Toma and Anthony Allo Master Grisby, we are expecting you. I want you to come on time. Let the public enjoy the discussion, man. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence. My name is Soti Taylor and I call you from Ghana's.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah, big brother Jazzy, you know, my message about selling all. You know, she is my coach. Yeah, she trained us to Bata. And she said we'll be there on Saturday morning. But for me, I will be there alone with my video for Master Canetera. Yeah.
Maza Kane, eh?
Yeah, Master Kane is my wife, If you have Mother for me, she will tell you. She will tell you what I can do. She will tell you my husband can treat well.
One people send me message, the man say, I will be there, but you will not see me. I can understand what he from the context he's talking about. But I will be looking out for him to see with my particular album, Kolo. That B-man there, I will see Kolo. Let me announce that Councillor Lawrence Toma is here. It's good to say that. He's here. Let me do it again. And we're expecting Maxwell Grisby. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Right back.
Take me higher. Caught up in this feeling.
By popular request, your number one people-centered radio station, OKFM 99.5, once again presents the OK Health Walk under the theme, Promoting a Healthy Lifestyle for a Healthy Nation. On December 14th at 6 a.m. prompt, we will be walking from Congo Town opposite the SOS Clinic through the principal streets of Cinco to the Antoinette Tubman Stadium, where the health walk will be climaxed with free health screening and refreshments. To all fans, ardent listeners of OKFM, social and fitness clubs, our fellow media colleagues, one and all, come join us to climax the year with a healthy lifestyle while we create the environment for great networking opportunities for your various businesses. The energy is going to be electrifying with live brass band music to keep us alive and energized. To be a sponsor of this OKFM landmark event, reach out to the business office where a special media package awaits you. Mark your calendars. On December 14th, OKFM shuts the city down. Health is wealth, so join us in promoting that healthy lifestyle. And with OK, everything is okay.
Everything is okay. I don't know whether Maxwell Grisby will come to do the walk. Anyways, a lot of people probably can deceive people, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll take our guests. At some point, we'll take a break to get to the. Okay, no, let me just take a second break. Very, very short. This one is very short.
The heat created in a conductor is directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor. The square of the currents and the time the current is maintained. That's the Joule's law. Are you a quizzer, scholar, or lover of academia? Have you longed to witness a clash of knowledge? Has it been a while and you yearn to hear the buzzing of a bell? Well, the wait is over. A 3-day invitational back-to-school quizzing tournament sponsored and convened by Honorable Eric C.K.C., a permanent resident of District 17 who believes in the promotion of education, promises to be the best tournament District 17 has seen. happening from 11 December to the 13th of December 2024 at the Mission International AG Bible College compound at the precise hour of 10 a.m. Games highlighted for the tournament includes the matches between Esther Yalata Academy and Annie Banks High School, St. Gabriel Catholic School and Christ Master Builder Industrial School, Pamela K. and SD School System, Faith Academy Mission School in Ermley Foundation Academy, Future Generation and Virginia Christian Academy, Fila Institute and Jimmy K. Duway, all competing for the grand prize of $100,000 Liberian dollars. Admission is free, and you are invited to be an eyewitness of these jaw-dropping games. Don't be told. The question remains, who walks away with the grand prize of $100,000? I see you there.
Okay, this is the OK Morning Rush. It's on 99.5. Today we have two Liberian lawyers here, and I've invited them basically to provide us some public education. We are not lawyers. Everybody is interpreting these things differently. Even the lawyers are also interpreting it differently. But when you listen to the different views and interpretations and the explanations from the different lawyers, you will have a fair appreciation of some of the issues. Today we've invited two. They will introduce themselves, and we will move on with our discussion. We're following two issues today. The ruling from the Supreme Court of Liberia. They are not politicians, so we're not going to focus on the politics of it. We're going to look at the rules. We're going to look at the legality of it, you know, and from their perspectives, I insist. So we'll go across the table and you will hear them introduce themselves, and then we can have a conversation. We'll start from my far right here, sir.
Good morning. And thanks, Clarence. My name is Maxwell Grisby, Esquire, attorney. I want to thank you again and the family of OK for the invitation, even though I declined almost 3 invitations. But it seems, my man, you're always getting me.
Yeah.
But it's a privilege to be here along with my colleague, distinguished counsel, Toma. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. My name is Councilor Lawrence Toma. I'm happy to be here this morning, and I'm happy for the invitation, even though it's came a little bit late.
Yeah, it actually came late.
Yeah.
And I must appreciate you.
Yeah, I was sleeping when I saw
you were sleeping, and I'll be harassing you.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be here in my perspective as councillor in Liberia and in my private capacity, not for anybody or no institution. I'm here as Lawrence Toma to give my view.
Okay, I must say that we've spoken many times on the phone and we exchanged messages, but we're just saying we're placing, you know, eyes on the faces bearing the names.
That's
correct. Thank you so much. Now, the Supreme Court of Liberia have been hearing this thing from different perspectives. Fonati Kofar has been going there. There were issues at the Capitol. But the issues at stake now is the executive branch of our government says it is recognizing the majority bloc headed by its Speaker Richard Kun because the Justice Minister has given a general briefing to the President. In the wisdom of the Minister of Justice, the Supreme Court ruling and that the majority is doing the right thing. Maxwell Grisby, which of the proposition are you supporting? What side are you in this matter? And what's your introduction of this whole discussion?
First, I don't know what the sides are, but I know that my side will be the rule of law. And interestingly, you will see that my position will be both supportive of the majority in respect to the sitting and the conduct of business. And then I will also support the only speaker in the country in regards to the legality in making his office vacant pursuant to Article 49. So you can say which side I am, but I'm having this interview so that 20 years from now, when I look back, I can be proud of this conversation.
Okay.
I don't think I intend to appease or please any group.
Okay.
Thank you.
Toma?
Well, thank you, Mr. Jackson. I agree with my colleague that he's staying with the rule of law. That's why myself. That's why we try to live by as member of the Liberian National Bar Association. You will see our motto is adherent to the rule of law.
Okay.
So we all agree with rule of law. But I will respectfully disagree with the Justice Minister and we gave my view in support of Mr. Fonati Kofa.
Okay. So let's begin right there. Why do you disagree? In fact, before we come to the disagreement with the Minister of Justice, let's go to the court's ruling. What is your view? What is your take on the opinion of the Supreme Court and or your legal understanding and interpretation of that?
You see, Mr. Jackson, when you look.
So what we'll do, we'll attach time to it so that I want to treat each of you fairly. So I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. 5 minutes enough. Yeah. You see, when you look at the opinion of the Supreme Court, not just the judgment, the Supreme Court recognized the quote-unquote removal of Councillor Fonati Kofa as being purported. And when something is purported, in my understanding, according to law, is something that appears to exist, but it does not exist legally. So the Supreme Court opinion is clear, and it has no misunderstanding. It is something that the little person down there will understand that the removal is purported. The Supreme Court also look at Article 33 and 49. And in 49, the majority of black also acknowledged in their response, return to the Supreme Court, that J. Fonati Kofa was in the building of the Capitol. That means he was present. So when you look at 33 talks about quorum. And it says, if the quorum cannot obtain majority for the transaction of business, they adjourned. That's why that means Fonati have been conformity with what the law says. But on the contrary, you see that the speaker in absence, because in the 33 and 49, it said in absence of the speaker, then the deputy speaker presides. But the speaker is present. How come the deputy preside? That means a usurpation of functions. In the opinion of the Supreme Court also consider the actions to be ultra-virus, because when something is ultra-virus means above your authority, you are acting above your authority. So for the deputy speaker to preside in presence of the speaker, I think it was contrary to what the Constitution says. So the Supreme Court was clear. And the Supreme Court said, no, we cannot address political questions because the issues of compelling the majority to return, we cannot do it. That is political question. But you need to go back to status quo, and then consistent with 33 and 49, you proceed. So the presiding officer is the speaker. The Constitution recognizes him. So in the chambers of the legislature, if you have any misunderstanding, differences, you go while the speaker is presiding, you bring out your concern. But you cannot leave the speaker presiding, quote unquote, and go into the joint chamber. And Article 49 recognizes the joint chamber. They say in the gathering of this legislature in the joint chamber, the presiding officer is the speaker. But contrary, we see that where even though political is political activities, but Article 2 of the Constitution says any actions or law that are inconsistent with the Constitution should be declared null and void. So the only little bit disagreement, or let's say mistake I may consider the speaker J. Fonati Kofa is the action, the venue, the action of the case that he presented before the Supreme Court. I have issues with that because the venue, the action was in the constitutionality. It means, in my mind, not the view of other people, in my view, is a proceedings that only have one party with no adverse party. You are asking the court to interpret certain positions. But in my mind, He could have gone with for a petition for a writ or prohibition to stop what the deputy speaker and the other representatives were proceeding. So in my mind, the action of the quote-unquote justice minister to give a view on the constitutionality of the majority, quote-unquote majority black, I think he heard.
Okay, let's leave you there. You have absorbed your 5 minutes at 9:15. Anthony Lord Maxwell Crispy, let's hear you.
Thank you. So first, for non-lawyers, in a profession, we have several different ways in which people can seek remedy from the High Court. Article 66, the Supreme Court established its power of judicial review as the final arbiter under the jurisdiction of Liberia, with original jurisdiction in deciding all constitutional cases, cases involving counties and ambassadors, whereas appellate jurisdiction on the area for administrative forum, lower courts. That power as vested in the Supreme Court allows the court, for instance, to decide and render, opinion on actions of other branches of government that exceed their constitutional power. So the Supreme Court was faced with a question by the Honorable Speaker, who felt aggrieved that some members of the House of Representatives were taking into their hands acts and decisions that far exceeded their authority. And the council knows very well the court will not do for any party what the party failed to do for itself. We have an adversarial legal system where the court is not a party to the suit. So if you file before the court an in-rem petition requesting interpretation of various provisions of the Constitution, the court is inclined to do as you have requested, even though in your very petition you may request for them to declare the sitting of the majority illegal. You may request for them to declare the suspension of other colleagues as illegal. What remedy did you actually seek from the court? Did you actually intend to prohibit and enjoin them from proceeding wrongly, or you wanted the court to interpret the provisions of the Constitution? So the court made a determination on 3 articles. And sometimes it baffles me whether English is the problem or we are just block-minded and politically hard-hop. I don't see how even a third-grade student reading the ruling of the court will say the ruling affect the majority or it affect the minority. Because even in the conclusion, what does it say? So let's talk about 66 as we did on the power of the court. Then we come to 33. 33 talks about the constitutional requirement to conduct the business of the House of Representatives. The constitutional requirement under 33 is vested in having at least a simple majority, 37 people. 33 not talking anything about presiding meeting. The first thing you must do to conduct the business of the House, you must have simple majority. No simple majority, the only option that's provided to you is you can adjourn from time to time, and there's a clause that says you can as well compel the absent members. We elect people to the legislature who are more concerned about benefits, personal benefit, than the work of the legislature. Many times in our different districts, people have the capacity to help strengthen the legislature, go to the pool, the people decide who to elect. And whatever group of leaders you elect, that's the result you get. So the legislature has responsibility to ensure that the rules and procedure for compelling absent members to come to session was established and determined by them. Have they done that? No. Like under 44, we talk about contempt of the legislature. Up to today, there's no extended statute or rules or procedure of the court to talk about what contempt of the legislature is and how they will proceed to exert or exercise that authority. So the legislature elected to ignore their constitutional responsibility to the people of this country. What the speaker wanted the court to proceed to do that which the legislature has failed to do. And people call the court coward. Show me one country in the world with adversarial system where the court will usurp the function of a legislative assembly by going to the extent to develop the mechanism for its administrative function. Should won't go in the war. I was just listening to the case with Jacob Zuma, where in South Africa, you know, the public works, the public utility entity proceeded to go and put all kinds of utility in his home that were not security related. And the committee responsible for fiscal property investigated and were asking someone to replenish. It's a whole nice case.
Okay, sure. We'll hold you right there. 5 minutes ago. So we're standing time.
No, man.
For what I just see, no. Because he did five, okay. But I take responsibility.
Okay, fair.
Moving forward, we'll increase the time. So Thomas, let's come back to it. But this time I'll give you 8 minutes now. It seems the file was small. Actually, the file. Now, and I want to be particular about something. Yeah. And I think this is where the whole discussion is coming from.
Yeah.
What is your interpretation of this as a lawyer? Whereas, and in view of the foregoing, any sittings or actions by members of the legislature not in conformity with the intent of Article 33 and 49 of the Constitution are ultra virus. Hence, members of the House of Representatives are to conduct themselves accordingly. What did the court mean? And I'm giving you 8 solid minutes.
You see, Mr. Jackson, thank you. When you look at that particular portion, is what the court referred to as the judgment. The judgment summarizes the entire opinion. Okay. So in 33, Article 33, the court looks at the interpretation and says, look, the legislature should meet, and to carry on legal transaction of business, they should obtain at least simple majority. And 49, the Constitution says the presiding officer is the speaker. So when the speaker and the colleague were present and they could not obtain majority for the transaction, for simple majority for the transaction business, the Constitution vested the authority in the speaker to adjourn. That is the reason why we say the speaker was present. In where the speaker is present, the deputy speaker cannot preside. So the Supreme Court said, looking at Article 33 that talks about majority for the transaction of business, and looking at Article 49 that gave the authority of the speaker as a presiding officer, the House of Representatives should go back. Anything that is done outside without the authority of the speaker as contained Article 33 and Article 49, it means the person who is assuming our authority, that authority you assuming is beyond that usurpation of function. Your action is auto-virus. Because the Supreme Court look at the presence of the speaker and also look at the presence of the deputy speaker at the same time presiding in the joint chamber while the speaker is present. So the Supreme Court said no. This action, even though they could not come directly to say the majority block action was auto-virus, but in the meaning of the judgment of the court is clear that the action of the majority, especially the deputy speaker, was auto-virus because the speaker was present. And once the speaker is present, he is the presiding officer. He's in the building. That's what from my opening statement I said, when you look at the return filed by the majority block, they acknowledge the presence of the speaker. They further went further to say he could not obtain simple majority. So if the speaker was present, he could not obtain simple majority, what's the remedy? Is to adjourn for another sitting. But it did not give you the authority to go and preside on another section. Your action is strictly auto-viral, is beyond the scope of your authority. That's what the Supreme Court was looking at. But the other point, Mr. Jackson, I want to also look at.
Go ahead. You still got a lot of time.
Yeah. You see, the Supreme Court is.
You got 5 more minutes. Go ahead.
In so many cases, especially this present bench, you see, look, the actions of the kid does not matter. In so many opinions, look, the action of, if you wrongly designated maybe the local, I say no, never forget about the action in going to the merits of the matter. But in my mind, the Supreme Court was clear, but was not very clear. Because it could have been clear to the majority bloc that yes, the presiding officers under these circumstances is Councillor Fonati Kofa. He was present. There was no need for the deputy to preside. From the beginning, where Fonati Kofa, I think you went along with the president in Rome, that's Italy, right? So in that instant, it means the deputy speaker could preside in a section of the legislature. But he did not. But where the speaker is present in the building, in the regular chambers, to leave the speaker presiding and move to another chamber and preside, I think that was purely political. Yeah, it's not legal. And the Supreme Court could have come clearly to state it. But, in the wisdom of the court say we cannot dwell into political question. But any setting that is inconsistent with 33 and 49 is ultra-virus.
But some other lawyers are saying that ultra-virus, as maintained by the court, means all the sittings that the majority held before the arrival of Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala to preside. Some lawyers are, no, 1 minute, sir, you'll get it. Okay. Some lawyers are saying all of the sittings the majority had prior to Thomas Fala presiding are the sittings the Supreme Court is referring to as ultra-virus. What do you say to that? Because they say they are relying on Article 49 because they say in the absence of the speaker, the deputy speaker presides. So when Thomas Fala came to preside now, it was legitimate. That's what they think.
That's why I will partly agree and give more duty.
You got 3 more minutes.
Yeah, and give more duty.
Not 3, but 2 actually.
Yeah. In all the sections where the deputy presided at the time the speaker was present, in my mind, those sittings were ultra-virus. Even the sitting where I think they brought a resolution before him and to have the new speaker, that sitting was also beyond his scope of the authority, was also ultra-virus. It's not only limited to the previous sitting, but the sitting that brought Representative Kuhn as speaker, while the presiding officer was at the Capitol building in a section, those sittings were all illegal and ultra-virus.
What do you think? How do we determine absence in this kind of manner? What do we use to determine what absence constitutes?
When something in my mind, when someone is absent, it means you are not present. You are not present.
You are not present. You are not present with us in this room. You're supposed to be here, or you on our side. We're supposed to be there too. We're not there, so you present there, and we say Kanye. We say you absent. You yourself say no, I'm present because I'm in the building, but I'm not in your room. I mean,
Mr. Jackson, they're placing a simple form. The regular setting here for the conduct of OK business in the room.
Okay, right here. Let's hold you there. No. Just take a few seconds.
Yeah. You're right here. So how can someone say I went to OKFM talk show, I was present, and you were in the other room?
So at the legislature that the clerk can call the road, do we know where the clerk was in the midst of all this? Where was the clerk?
That's the political aspect of the entire
You have exhausted your 8 minutes. Yes. Anthony Law, Maxwell Graceby, you are starting exactly 9:30.
Let me thank you. So
8 solid minutes.
So for me, you read the language. In the case, the court was very aware of the 2 groups. as per the submission before the court, the briefs. The court responded that any act, any sitting or action by members of the legislature, because there are two areas the court deal with, did the petitioner before the court actually request from the court an interpretation of 33 to the extent that his incapacity or capacity will be declared, or he intended the court to assist him in compelling people to come to the section. So he made a request. The request was to compel, the majority to come before him, but the court said something. And it is that thing that the folks refuse to read and comprehend.
What did the court say?
Any gathering below 37, below simple majority, even with the speaker, is without authority to conduct the business of the House. And the reason for that is because you heard the speaker and his team making interest of suspension of members, expulsion, declaring seat vacant. These are the comments that were coming from the minority black. So that provision was very key to say, Mr. Speaker, if you don't get 37, you can do anything besides your joining. And the one you're requesting for us to tell people to come sit down on you, that you can go to where your friend is sitting in your own building, we can get any power to tell your friend to come sit down on you. So, if you proceed to do anything, whether suspension, declaring somebody seat vacant, all that thing you've been talking, it will not be in conformity with the Constitution, even though we recognize you as the Speaker and the presiding officer. That's 33. Then 49. You go to outer space as 37 legislator to sit. Unless you legally vacate the office of Speaker, once the Speaker sits in that room, the Speaker will preside. The Speaker cannot be present, and sometimes for you to have an appreciation of the subject, you must have had the experience of this kind of process we're talking about, the parliamentary procedure. And that is why the court refused to go into, because it's a procedure of the legislature. Clarence, there's a reason why even in grade school, they can call attendance. Have you seen an agenda at the legislature or roll call? Have you seen an agenda or roll call? Because constitutionally, the body cannot proceed to act on behalf of the people of Liberia without first establishing that they've met the minimum requirement of quorum. So there must be a roll call. He said the Speaker of a person. So it means if we were to go back, and it is not only the Deputy Speaker that left. You have to get this thing in context. For the body to be, a legal body, there must be a presiding officer. Was there a presiding officer? Yes. There was Mr. Deputy Speaker. Was the Speaker present during the roll call in the setting? The record says no. The Speaker never answered to his name. He was called. J. Fonati Kofa. He can't answer. There was nobody informing them that the Speaker had requested that he will be absent. So the condition of presiding officer is not in question. Was there a sergeant at arms? Was there, a chaplain? The elected officers of the House who will assist the plenary in conducting the sitting? Yes, they were all present. So for you to say a group that meet the constitutional requirement to conduct the business of the House, when all of the elected officers are illegal because they don't go to where the Speaker is sitting, even the court says... But
Thomas and others argue that Article 49 says that in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker can preside. In their interpretation is that the Speaker was present on the grounds of the Capitol building. So how will you describe that as absent?
If he was present on the ground and they used him, he was listening or maybe seeing the thing via spoon when they called him, maybe he answered from the room he was sitting. If he did that, then he's present. Roll call.
But they are arguing that where Fonati was sitting is the legitimate section, chambers. That's their argument.
Without the authority, the Supreme Court just told him, if you don't have 37, that's why I told you you have to read out that interpretation on 33 very well. If you don't have quorum to conduct business, you are legally incapacitated to do anything. Even your function under the code, you cannot do it. So on this interpretation of setting, the majority black has the legitimate and constitutional backing to conduct the business of the Liberian people, because they don't need to tear for that. They only need a simple majority. And any speaker who cannot get simple majority will be ineffective in terms of function, but legally will not be disposed of the office. Do I think that the section in which a resolution was read and Kofa was removed, do I think that that action is legal? No, I don't think so. And I think that ultravirus will also speak to that. Because, Clarence, there are things that the horse can do with simple majority, and there are things they cannot do with simple majority. The removal of the speaker is one of such things that they cannot do with simple majority. They claim to have 50 votes. They read a resolution, but they have never, since they read that resolution, they have never demonstrated the numerical capacity of 49 representatives. So I don't think they've legally vacated the office of Speaker. And my advice to the executive, if you read the brief of the Justice Minister, I read that brief more than 5 times, and I could only admire his brilliance. The court and the Justice Minister refrained from declaring Kofa as former Speaker. If you read the entire brief, I could not even see Kuni anywhere. There's a reason for that. Until the office of Speaker Kofa,
so in your opinion, you think that the executive has continued in the Justice Minister's brief, did not recognize anybody as Speaker, or Rachel Kun as Speaker, or Fonati as former?
It's not explicit. There is no explicit express provision in any of the writings, whether the brief, whether the Supreme Court recognizing.
So my
question of you, my question of you as a lawyer, in 20 years when I play it, Richard Kun is a presumptive speaker. The likelihood of becoming speaker, he has that likelihood. They have a great advantage as a team. They've done so well. If they continue in a month or two, they will almost, have the capacity to host Speaker Kofa. But he should, desist from trying to conduct the business of the section as a speaker. I do not believe he has the constitutional and legal authority to add a speaker. So I'm advising the executive. The executive, we have the president, we have a government to run. The executive should refrain from conducting business with Mr. Richard Kun as a speaker until few things happen. One, maybe Speaker Kofa, the only speaker in Liberia, resign. That's one thing. Two, until maybe Speaker Kofa file an action before the Civil Law Court for declaratory judgment to declare his right, which is being encroached upon by this political process that brought Mr. Kun. And the court said, Kofa, we can help you.
In other words, you think the Justice Minister is not clear, but the Justice Minister goes on to say the executive will do business with the majority black.
Because you didn't listen to me. Under 33, the majority black has the capacity to conduct the business. To conduct the business, you need simple majority.
So he said that because they have the majority to do the business.
You need a presiding officer. He acknowledged and recognized the Deputy Speaker in his brief. So 33 is certified. The country will not be stagnated. We're going to move on running this country.
Thank you. Your 8 minutes have been exhausted. 2 minutes. Thomas, do you disagree with him on anything? 2 minutes.
Yeah. First thing is, my colleague said, even though the speaker did not obtain the simple majority, but he was saying he was suspended. There is no records that he suspended anybody. He was saying. So there is no record. And the other side I disagree is that while the deputy was presiding, and then there was roll call. In fact, who gave him the authority to preside before roll call? That's the question. He lacks the legal capacity, the foundation. You mean the speaker?
Thomas Fala.
Yeah, you said while Thomas Fala was presiding, and then there was roll call, and the speaker could not answer to his name.
But Article 49 recognized 2 persons, the speaker or the deputy speaker. Maswell argues that it implies that Fonati was not present because he was not there in that hall.
To answer
that's why we disagree. We said Fonati was present. Even in the brief, in the return, they acknowledged that Fonati was present at the capital. That was present. He was present. So there was no need the deputy speaker to go preside for administrative staff to start to call roll and what have you. Let's look at the doctrine of personal. When they treat it personal, it means even the root, the leaf, the vein, everything is personal. When you obtain evidence illegally, no matter the circumstances of the occurrence of the act, that evidence will be declared as illegal, and the motion to suppress evidence will be sustained.
Thank you. Let me use Maxwell. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah.
Clarence.
2 minutes. Yeah.
This is the catch of the matter. If Tomai says Speaker Kofa was present, then why he did not preside? If you were present.
But you were not present where the majority was. You were presiding on the other side.
Then you can say, where we had a sitting, the constitutional and legal sitting, he was not present. If you were present, then also tell your governor and preside. Who stopped you? That Supreme Court gave the governor can preside? So if he was not there, physically present, to answer to his name and exercise his constitutional duty, they say when you're not there, that the deputy must do it. The deputy has constitutionally been doing that. Ultra-viral does not mean unconstitutional. And that's the myth people have been running with. You can have a constitutional body who can go beyond their authority. I believe the majority sitting was a constitutional majority sitting to conduct business on our behalf. But that majority acted ultra-viral when they proceeded to remove Speaker Kofa without getting the constitutional to 1049. I believe that majority acted ultra-virus when they did not elect a presiding pro tem and they were doing the business of Liberian people.
You mean the Speaker pro tem?
Speaker pro tem. Yeah. They did not elect prior to Fala joining them. So in the absence of Fala, there's a requirement for them to have.
So you also agree that ultra-viral as contained in the court's ruling is at the time Thomas Fala had not joined them.
At the time Fala had not joined them, and even when Fala joined them, decisions that are not consistent with 49 are also ultra-viral. I believe the election, the conduct of the election, the fact that there were 7 complaints, rescinding that signature, and they did not even proceed to hear these people complain. I think they were more political than legal. Okay. It makes the election of Kun to be questionable. But Kun is a presumptive speaker. Don't get me wrong. They are on the path politically to making him speaker. But you should refrain from acting until it's done properly.
Okay, let's hold you there, folks. 2 lawyers are here. Anthony Law, Maxwell Griffith, and of course, Councillor Lawrence Tolman, they are here. I held them because I want sufficient time. They will have to respond to some of the things and then we'll move on. Had I known, I would have invited these people 8:30 to 10. 1 solid hour. Oh, I just gave them 2 hours of the show. I thought it would have been earlier for them. I mean, sorry for that. Let's take calls on 0777700995. Councillor Luther, your feed is here. Councillor, let's hear you.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
So now I'm getting to understand that the major point of confusion in the whole saga is the definition of affect.
Yes.
If the people from the speaker camp are contending that the speaker was present because he was in the Capitol building, then the people in the majority block were also in the Capitol building. Then it means the speaker had quorum to conduct business. Then why are they saying they didn't have quorum? Yeah. Is that how they are defining being present or being absent?
Simple.
The actual definition of absent contains the definition of the meeting. Who were present in the identical meeting, whether before the speaker or before the majority block.
Yes.
So if you were not in the meeting where the majority block, where they organize themselves, it means you are absent.
Absolutely.
The speaker's definition of being present and the people overlooking is wrong because you were not in that meeting.
Yes.
If you considering that once you are in the building, you are present there and need a half quorum, and then you are conducting business and not to adjourn.
But the speaker said the speaker thinks where he was legitimate because that is their meeting ground. He called and they refused to go. So where they were was illegal. So he could not. So 1 minute, sir. He thought going where they were would have legitimize their setting.
That's where he was wrong.
Yes.
He should have gone there
Yes.
and exercise his authority of presiding.
Yes.
Okay, let's go you there.
But
Let's go, sir.
the failure to go there is proper waiver and latching.
Simple.
Thank you.
That's it.
Let's go, sir. Hello.
That's it.
Good morning here. We're not wasting any time here. We've got too many callers. 0777700995. Hello.
Morning, Mr. Clarence Jackson.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Super Morris calling for Ghana, and thank you very much and for the topic discussion. And I also say thank you for your return from the people of Ghana. Mr. Jackson, no wonder why the people point to deny a council of matter from taking over the justice ministry. Mr. Jackson, the justice ministry is the one that puts the civil power for the people. Mr. Jackson, we are your two children, every fourth. And the case is before you. The big brother wrong, tell the big brother you wrong. If the small brother wrong, tell him you wrong. But when you will tell them, okay, no more fighting, your go play. It's not justice. It's not justice. Tell the people, the majority that what you do is not right. Don't go by and stay under the gavel of the elected speaker, Mr. Fernando Kofa.
Thank you. Let me take Senator Numeno T.H. Batikwa. Senator Batikwa, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Clarence. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I've listened to your interactions with your reporter talking about the Grand Cruise senators. Clarence, from the time of the inception of this whole saga, the Grand Cruise senators have been in active engagement with not only the speaker, our colleagues in the Senate, our colleagues in the region, and the speaker knows. We put up a release and all, and be very active. We talk to them, and because our place is a place of number, like in the case of yesterday, when they decided to take the vote, we consulted, two of us consulted, and because they were not going our way, so we protested. We did not take part.
So you and Senator Abachi abstained from the vote yesterday?
Yes, we didn't take part. We protested.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know publicly, because I am saying Nathaniel McGill has been public about this thing. Senator Egosinchi has been public, but Numenu Batikwa and Abachi have never been public. I've never heard you talk about it. I've never heard you write about it. That was my concern.
I don't know. Maybe you have not been fortunate to get some of our associates, some of our I chair the caucus. So most of the releases from the caucus end come from my end.
But I haven't seen no Grand caucus releases in favor of Funati on OKFM. Maybe I missed all that. Okay, but thank you. But yesterday you abstained from voting.
Yes, we protested.
Thank you. Ali, I'm not here for you now. The Liberian people not here for you now. But I didn't see any prayer relief from you. Hello?
Hello, Clarence.
Yeah, good morning.
This is Idris Village.
Yeah, Idris, let's hear you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Clarence, there's something they call the arrogance of governance. That is, whatever the governor does, the government who are in support of the government will, defend it at all costs. These things have happened in several administrations, including that of the past. And it continues to happen.
What is your take on the subject at discussion?
Yeah, the Constitution is, the Supreme Court is the hope that everyone has. That at the end of the day, there's somewhere we all can go and cry for justice. But if this court of this institution, this branch of government, gives somebody hope, and then another person say that it would not listen, including the Senate, that is a sign of frustration.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear you. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Good morning to the two student friends.
Good morning.
This is Morris Moses Mungai, and I call from Jacobstown this morning. Clarence, quickly, two major issues. The first thing that I want to establish is current chamber that the House uses is not the original chamber of the House of Representatives. It was because of the since dilapidated position of that original chamber they decided to use that place that Chinese people constructed a conference hall. So that is not the chamber of the House of Representatives. People need to know it. Okay? Also, Rule 10 of the Hostess Rule is unconstitutional. Article 49 is clear. The Speaker, the presiding officer, the deputy speaker, such other officer. But in Rule 10,
49.
Thank you. Let's go to Frank Gibson. Then we'll take one more. We have to leave enough time for our guests. Hello?
Good afternoon. Good morning, Clarence. Frank Gibson back from Clarence.
Yeah, friend, let's say.
Clarence, you know, when you have a lawless president,
it's 11:49
in the country, and it's very unfortunate. You know, one lawyer said, Liberia is the only country where when the Supreme Court gave a ruling, all of the lawyers, or most of the lawyers will disagree with the Supreme Court ruling. Now when they disagree with the interpretation of the Supreme Court, they want to interpret the ruling of the Supreme Court by their own understanding. That's the unfortunate part. Because I think the Supreme Court is there to interpret the Constitution and to interpret the law. So when the lawyer does not agree with the interpretation, he can take exception. But going back to reinterpret what the Supreme Court already interpreted, that's unfortunate. And I think that is happening because the president of Liberia, Joseph Bogai, is a lawless president. He has never one day under any ruling for the Supreme Court, leading from 30 positions to today. People are blaming the justice minister. The justice minister just done his legal work. But because the president is lawless, he do not respect the laws of the country, this is what we are leading to.
Okay.
Thank
you, Chief. Thank you. Let me take the final caller. Quick, we gotta go back. Finally, let's hear you, bossman.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Good morning to the two distinguished legal practitioners in your studio, and particularly Big Brother Lawrence Duma. I respect so much. He asked one question, and you know, I am not a lawyer, but the two lawyers there will always agree. They always say, law is logic. Yep. So if law is logic, he asked one question and say, who gave the people the authority to call rule because they were not according to him as legal. So say no one answer that question. La Cuba gave the authority. The law say, the rule says you will have simple majority to constitute a quorum. Yeah. So the speaker for the Cuba had not managed to govern now that number. The number is on the other side. Yeah. Then the argument about me, Chimo, I keep hearing, but I don't have Supreme Court rule in the there is no case. Yes. Now, the two horses my house is still in the same city. One are to AGM, one are to higher permanent party. It might not be also the city, the two have. So they get nowhere about Michimo. Michimo is one majority color.
Thank you. Let's hear you there. Tuma, let's hear you. 3 minutes, you hearing the colors. And then we'll come back, get your party to come. I think the time was short.
Yeah. Thank you.
No. I actually should have said 8 to 10, but then I was struggling between getting Tuma and other kind of thing. Yeah, let's hear.
So let me quickly respond to Sion Council Yofi. You know, he talked about the meeting place. You know, and I still cannot reason who designate the meeting place, because if you say the majority, so it means majority just wake up and say, look, our meeting place today, that means they are not recognizing the presiding officer. But if the setting place will be the issue now, in my mind, the speaker should be the one who designates the setting of the representative, not just anybody. And Frank Gibson talking about the Supreme Court giving interpretation where lawyer is all over the world. Lawyer will disagree with the opinion of the Supreme Court, and then they will give their own view. In fact, in some jurisdiction, lawyer will predict the ruling or the opinion of the Supreme Court when the case is pending. Yeah. But for us here, we are prohibited. We cannot do that. You say the case is not adequate. It's sub judicially and what have you. But in other jurisdictions, the lawyer will write and say, this is the way the Supreme Court will rule in this matter. And after ruling, lawyer also write and disagree and also agree with the opinion of the Supreme Court. So, Councillor Yofi, I partly agree with you, but for you to say the speaker he was present during the majority sitting, I disagree because there were particular places.
Okay, Maswell, let's hear Maswell. Then we'll come back to you.
So I wanted you, if you have the time, to read the judgment in the Judicial ruling, because
I don't have it available.
Yeah, I tried to download and send to you. Okay. Because that ruling, the code was very clear, declaring the sitting of Ketakume Murray et al. As illegal, because they were not in the same sitting. as you know, because
I think they were around with Africa.
Yeah. Then they as well proceeded. The court was very definite, declaring all of the proceeding unconstitutional. In this case, the court recognized, and I'm saying this because, you know, the prayer before the court was declare the imminent action and setting illegal, declare unconstitutional. The court say any member of the legislature, any setting or action not in conformity with 33 and 49 is ultra virus. It means you're acting beyond your authority. Does that mean that the court recognizes that the minority have authority?
Okay, just 1 minute. I'm doing that on the basis of respect because he's one of those involved in the thing. Representative Samson, we are assigned. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, thank you, Clarence. Just to follow up with our brothers in studio, let me tell them thank you. Legislative practice is such that to decide a certain place, it should be decided by plenary. And one of the things that happened in the entire case is that the minorities have prepared for us a golden chariot that we kept riding up to the end. The fact that we were resisted that day, and we have with us a number that could convene a quorum for setting, it means that we have the right to have decided where we move and how we decided the Liberian people's business.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So for all intent and purpose, reading the ruling of the court acknowledged and recognized that the two groups had authority. One had limited authority only to convene but could not conduct business. The other had authority to conduct business with the deputy presiding but should not exceed their authority. And you cannot argue that Kofa was present, because if you say Kofa, who was not in the city of the majority, was present, then in your field wisdom, because law is reasoning, then Kofa should assume that Thomas Fowler and the 44 people in the other chamber were as well present. So why is he a joint section?
Okay, Thomas. Let's finally conclude. What's your final thing?
Well, thank you.
Lawyers.
I don't know how many minutes I get to conclude.
Yeah, just take a minute. That's what will take some.
Yeah, please. All right. So in my conclusion, people always compare the Snow case with that of Fonati case, there are two different scenarios, prohibitions and eerie. Okay, two different. All right. That's why in the Snow case, the Supreme Court was definite to say this. But in the Kofa case, was just the interpretation. All right. And in my conclusions, I think that Mr. Jackson, I watched a video involving the Liberian National Police and this legislature at the Capitol. If that video is real, I think the police acted beyond the scope of the authority to move into the Capitol building and to brutalize representatives for their disagreement. I have never seen it in the world. I have never seen any part of Africa, neither in the world I have researched to see. I have not seen any of the history have been made in Liberia. I think the police should step out of this whole something. First time, I was definitely to say, look, the executive was not involved into this crisis, but the police made me to have the impression and the feelings that the executive might be behind the entire scenario at the Capitol building, and which of course is not
thank you, Thomas. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
In my closing, I want to thank the Minister of Justice for doing his job. It's consistent with Chapter 12, Chapter 20, Section 22.2 of the Executive Law to provide legal opinion and advices to the government and executive branch. I support his brief holistically. I want to call on the government of Liberia and the President's office to refrain from doing business with Majority Speaker Richard Kuhn. I don't believe he has the constitutional authority to serve that office until the office of Speaker can be legally vacant. He's a presumptive Speaker. He has done so well in managing his block. He could become the Speaker once the right thing is done. As of Speaker Kofa, you have remedial law. I totally disagree with members of your block becoming violent and disgruntled. You have the power and capacity to file a bill of information to the court if you think that the action and conduct of your colleagues are against the Supreme Court ruling. It's simple. You can as well file an action or declaratory judgment before the civil law court, which allows for the court to declare your right as Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. Violence is not the way. The majority has the constitutional authority to conduct business, and they should be respected. But the election of Speaker Kun should be avoided until the proper process is followed to vacate the office.
Okay, Maxwell Grisby, thank you so much. Councillor Lawrence Tomai. It was a wonderful conversation of two lawyers. My name is Piso. I come back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.